Hello everyone. Myself Dr. Shubh Arora, Assistant Professor from Department of Commerce, GIMS Greater Noida. I once again welcome you all back to the lecture series of the subject Advertising and Brand Management. Currently, we are on the fourth unit of this subject, and today is the first lecture for it. And the topics which we are going to discuss in today's lecture are we'll be talking about the term brand positioning. What exactly do we mean by brand positioning, the meaning, the concept, and the definition? And we'll be also talking about the three C's of positioning. So let's start. First, let's try to understand what do we mean by brand positioning. See, positioning is one of the element of the STP approach. Now, what is STP approach? STP approach says segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So, positioning is the third element of STP approach. That means and that says that it is a unique way in which a brand tries to position its product in the mind and in the eyes of the customer. So how basically a way through which a brand tries to occupy a space, a position in the brain of the customer, in creating the mindset of the customer towards your brand. So in this way, in raw language, we can define the brand positioning concept. Now let's see how Philip Kotler has tried to define this term, that is brand positioning. He has said it is the act of designing the company's offering and the image of the brand by occupying a different place in the minds of the target audience or the customers, right? So basically you need to build your brand image, create your brand reputation, by telling the customers that this is what we offer in the market, either in the form of product or service, right? These are the quality standards we try to maintain. These are the objectives of the firm. These are the vision and mission. So through all these things, you try to occupy and tell and create a mindset of the customers regarding your brand, right? So it basically, through brand positioning, it helps to make the customers a specific view regarding a specific brand in a different way by getting associated with the customer. So for creating the brand positioning and creating a mindset in the customers by positioning your product, by positioning the brand in the mind of the customers, you try to get associated or connected with the customers with the help of emotional connections, some kind of characteristics, some kind of feelings, getting associated with the customers by taking care of their emotions, feelings, sentiments, etc. Right? So you need to connect with them, and you need to see that you need to connect with them in such a different way that is totally different and makes you and your brand different in comparison to your competitors. Further, again, I have tried to give you some detailed explanation and definition of brand positioning. So, basically, it is a positioning strategy of every brand, and the main motive or objective behind brand positioning is to create a different and a separate impression in the customer's mind existing in the marketplace, right? So, brand positioning has to be very desirable, very specific, and you need to be very clear and distinctive in your mind as a brand, right? So why all these traits are required, that is desirable, specific, clear, distinctive? Because these are the traits which you will try to show to your customers that this is how your brand is unique and different in comparison to your competitors existing or prevailing in the market. Then brand positioning also refers to the target consumers, right? So why brand positioning is targeted on the target consumers or target audience? Because they are going to prefer your brand, right? So when they are your prospective buyers or prospective consumers, so definitely as a brand you need to focus on them, right? So you need to ensure as a brand that entire brand activity has a common aim, is totally directed, guided, and delivered by all the brand benefits, right? You need to tell your customer that why you should prefer the products or services which my brand is selling, because these are the characteristics, these are the benefits or the reasons hidden behind. If you purchase, you are going to get benefit or add on benefits, or these are the reasons why you should prefer my brand in comparison to others. You need to show your USPs, that is unique selling points or prepositions, right? Through your USPs, you can easily compare your brand, that I am totally distinctive as a brand in comparison to the other competitors. This is where I am good. This is the area which is my strong area, right? So all this is done under brand positioning, is very helpful to focus on your target customers or audience. Now they are saying that brand positioning must make sure that, now I have tried to quote certain questions, that these all questions should be answered while you as a brand are trying to do the brand positioning process or the activity. So you need to, through brand positioning, you need to make sure that your brand is totally unique or different in comparison to your competitors. Then it is very important and encouraging to the niche market. Then the proposition shown by you, or the your USPs are unique in comparison to your competitors, are totally appropriate and original products. You are not copying anyone, then those products are going to be helpful. This thing will be, this positioning, if done good, is going to be very helpful for you as an organization to achieve your financial goals, because definitely if you are able to grab or attract more customers by doing good brand positioning, so result is your sales is going to, demand is going to increase. It will help you increase your enhance your sales. Ultimately the effect is that you are going to meet your financial objectives or goals of the organization. Then brand positioning is also going to make you support and boost up your organization, right? So these are certain questions which are to be answered, and a brand has to make sure that my brand positioning should be done in such a way that all these issues or concerns or questions arising in the minds of the customers are appropriately answered through my brand positioning strategy. Now, a brand's story should always try to tell that who are your potential clients, where there what telling about where your organization exists, then what all are the locations where your organization exists, then what do you offer, then how you are unlike, that is how you are different or separate from your competitors, then differentiators to set you apart. Then you need to tell or explain in detail that these are the unique traits or the points of differentiation which easily differentiate my brand in comparison to others. Then you need to tell how your organization works, what are the policies, what are the rules, what are the mission statement, what are the objectives, what are your long term goals, right? So that has to be defined very in detail to tell and make the customer sure that you are a good brand, and these are the lines on which you as a brand do the business or run the business. Then why they need you, you need to very clearly tell your customers that this is the reason, that these are the benefits, that why you should prefer my brand, why you should become my customer, right? Why you should buy the products or services sold by my brand. So basically you need to answer and tell and make sure while doing brand positioning that why, who, where, what, unlike, all the differentiation points, and how do you work on what business lines or areas you work, right? So these are certain questions again which have to be answered while brand positioning. Then we'll talk about the three C's of positioning, that says customer, competitive, that is competitor, and company, right? So as a customer base, you need to be very relevant and credible to your customer, right? And you need to tell and explain everything in the customer's language and from the point of view from of your customer, right? Then when you talk about the competitors, you need to be distinctive. That means you need to be totally different in comparison to your competitor. Then persuasive, that means you should be able to convince and persuade your customers. And sustainable, you need to do the business on those grounds and in that manner that you as a brand are going to survive and sustain in the market, right? Then company or brand, better company profile, better the perceived value of the product. If you are doing good, definitely customers are going to think good about you as a brand, and good about you, good about your products and services, and they are going to value your products. They are going to come towards you, hit you, right? Now let's understand that what all answers to be questions are to be answered in all these three C's. When we talk about the customers, they are very important part, and customer is the king of the market, right? So if your company's customers are loyal to you, then it will be very difficult for your competitors to penetrate and attract or get your customers switched from your brand to their brand. So definitely you need to have loyal customers, right? And so for this you need to do certain kind of customer analysis, and while doing that customer analysis you need to keep certain points in your mind, certain questions in your mind from the point of view of the customer. You need to keep these questions in your mind. You can have a look, like the questions like, what do the customers buy? Are they looking for value, economy, or prestige? Then are they satisfied customers and looking for certain improvements in your products? Then what is the decision making or purchasing behavior or process of the customer? What are the different segments in which the market is divided? Then who are your customers? What are their demographic traits? Are they women? Are they men? Are they children? Are they teenagers? What is their income pattern? Are they salaried? Are they doing business? What is the age group they belong to? Right, so you need to think that who are my customers, what is their demographic, what is their geographical location, what are the different segments, what are the decision making process, right? Who are the most valuable customers for my brand? So you need to ask certain questions related to these points while doing the customer analysis. And you can ask these questions by conducting certain kind of interviews or making certain questionnaires, and you can collect the relevant data. And after collecting the relevant data from your customers, you can use certain pie charts or diagrams and do certain kinds of business analytics, right? In You need to go in detail and do the analysis of the data, so that you can reach the most appropriate customers and serve them in a better way, serve them with improved products and services, so that those customers remain loyal to you and remain as happy and satisfied customers. Then we'll talk about the competitors. Now again, when we talk about competitors, you need to build certain USPs, that is unique selling propositions, in comparison to other competitors. So for this you need to do again a competitive analysis, and for doing competitive analysis you need to keep certain questions in mind, like who are my customers, who are my competitors, are the customers buy those products from me, or are they buying these products from my competitors? What are the value propositions which my firm is currently not um, giving or serving the customers? Then what are the goals of my competitors, or what are the objectives, or what are the lines on which my competitors are doing business? What are the strengths of my competitors? What are their weaknesses? How can I achieve the competitive advantage? Right, so again, this competitor analysis can be done with the help of doing certain researches, gathering information related to your competitors, then analyzing this competitive information, right? So, and for collecting this information and analyzing this information, you can go through certain websites, newspapers, magazines, certain annual reports, etc. So doing this competitive analysis again is a very important factor, because until unless you do not know as a brand that what is my competitor doing, or what are the objectives or ground lines on which my competitor is prevailing in the market, or doing good in the market, or having or has lots of customers, so you need to do a comparison, right? You need to do a competitive detailed analysis. Then we'll talk about the company part. When we talk about the company part, you as a brand need to stand out and reach your target customers, right? So you need to, for that you need to use certain cost leadership strategies and product differentiation strategies, right? So for this you need to estimate the full product cost, estimate the value of the product, right? Then investigate your competitors pricing strategies, and how do the products of your competitors are doing in the market, what are the price of the products sold by your competitors in the market. Then according to the price of your competitors you can set your prices and take into account other factors, right? And you need to also think as a brand, as a company, that how is the market where the competitor competes, right? What are the commodities or the products which the competitors are serving are different from mine, or how I can act as different product in the market, right? So again you need to do a detailed analysis as a company, as a brand. Here I have tried to show you certain examples of brand positioning, in which I have tried to show you an example of Coca-Cola and Apple. When we talk about Coca-Cola, it is one of the most successful example numbers. In its lots of campaigns it tries to use certain captions like open happiness, right? The Coca-Cola side of life, drinking a coke with the brand, right? So all are the relied values, right? So basically Coca-Cola is trying to connect with the customers through certain sentiments, certain emotions, or based on values like friendship, happiness, joy, sharing, unity, fun, etc. So the positioning of the brand promotes engagement amongst the customers, encouraging the customers to share the happy moments or sad moments, their experiences of life with the brand Coca-Cola. Then, when we talk about Apple, it is positioned as a brand that offers elegance, standard, luxury, exclusiveness, etc. So, this is the perception regarding the Apple brand in the minds of the customers, right? So the company Apple, or the brand Apple, today dominates the technology market, right? So your positioning serves as a basis for all the marketing campaigns. Then here I have tried to give you the example of Amazon. So it is one of the leading e-commerce companies today, and it is trying to position based on the relationships with the customers and their shopping experience on the Amazon website, right? So in addition to this, it also tries to offer certain advantages to the customers, such as low price and agility in delivery timing, right? So the company tries to give its customers the freedom to say whether they like the product or not, they want to return, their money will be refunded, right? So this is how Amazon today has become one of the world's leading e-commerce platforms. So these were the three examples, and we are at the end of this lecture. We have discussed about the brand positioning and the three C's, that are the customers, competitors, and company. And we have also discussed in today's class certain examples related to the topic. So that's all from my side for today's lecture, and we'll be discussing the next topics of this fourth unit in our following lecture. Till then, thank you and take care.